Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, your trusted spot for deep dives into South Africa's most pressing political stories, with just the right mix of insight and a pinch of humor to keep things real. Today, we're talking about a story that sounds like a tragedy wrapped in a mystery, the sudden and quiet closure of the Charlotte Maxeke Treatment Centre in Botshabelo. This centre was once hailed as a beacon of hope in the fight against substance abuse, a flagship project launched with great fanfare by President Cyril Ramaphosa on Freedom Day in 2021. It was supposed to be a lifeline for thousands battling addiction in the Free State province. Fast forward less than 4 years, and the centre has been shuttered without any official explanation or public announcement. What happened? Why did this symbol of hope fade into silence? And what does this tell us about government promises and social infrastructure in South Africa today? When the centre opened, it was a major event. Ramaphosa was joined by prominent figures like Minister of Social Development Linda Zulu, her deputy Henrietta Zulu, former Free State Premier Sisi Ntombela, and representatives from the Maxeke family. Naming the facility after Charlotte Maxeke, a revered struggle icon, was meant to underscore its importance and the weight of its mission. The idea was to provide free treatment for substance use disorders, offering critical services to some of the most vulnerable and underserved communities in the province. The centre was touted as state-of-the-art, with the promise of changing lives, easing the burden on families, and tackling a growing social crisis. But despite all the noise and high expectations, the reality today is starkly different. Community members in Botshabelo report that the centre has been closed for months. The doors that once welcomed hundreds of patients no longer open. Staff have been let go quietly, without explanation. Patients who once found refuge there are now left scrambling for alternatives in a province that already lacks sufficient rehabilitation facilities. The Free State Department of Social Development confirmed the closure but remained tight-lipped, saying only that the situation is under internal review. This collapse is about more than just a building or a project. It's about lives interrupted and promises broken. A social worker, speaking anonymously, described the situation as a complete breakdown of planning, oversight, and commitment. The absence of transparency fuels frustration. How does a nationally endorsed, multi-million rand project just fall apart without public accountability? Why is no one talking about the real reasons behind the shutdown? The silence from the Department of Social Development and the presidency is deafening. Where once there was hope and excitement, now there is disappointment and distrust. This isn't just a local issue, it reflects broader concerns about how government social projects are managed and whether they are sustainable beyond their launch events. This isn't the first time we've seen grand government projects stumble after the cameras stop rolling. It raises important questions about priorities, funding, and oversight. Are these projects designed for the long haul, or just for photo ops and speeches? The Charlotte Maxeke Treatment Centre's closure highlights the persistent challenges in South Africa's mental health and addiction services. Substance abuse remains a critical problem, and yet the infrastructure meant to address it is fragile at best. Looking ahead, community activists are demanding answers. Calls for a parliamentary inquiry are growing louder. People want transparency, accountability, and a clear plan to restore essential services. The families and patients affected deserve more than silence. Will this tragedy become a catalyst for change, or just another forgotten headline? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear, the gap left by the centre's closure is wide, and the need for sustainable support in substance abuse treatment is urgent. If you found this video insightful, please like and subscribe to stay updated on the latest political and social developments in South Africa. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this closure is a sign of deeper government failures, or is it just an unfortunate hiccup? We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.